The most thrilling, spine-tingling series ever.
From the pages of R.L. Stine's best-selling books,
And the screams go on forever and ever.
We now return to Goosebumps.
Greetings, Goosebumps fans, young and old, big and small, living dead and undead. Welcome back to the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Isaiah Vargas, and I'm joined by my good buddies Bjorn Palnick and Nick Shaw. We are the Goosebumps Crew, and we are back to, as always, talk some Goosebumps. If this is your first time joining us here on the Goosebumps Crew Podcast, I want to sincerely welcome you all. If you are, or have ever been, a fan of the popular Goosebumps series of books, or the monster franchise those books spawned, I have a feeling this podcast is going to be right up your alley, because as I always say, me, Bjorn, and Nick are some of the biggest Goosebumps nerds in the entire planet. We can talk about for Goosebumps on hours on end, and that's exactly what we do here on this podcast. Every week we have a brand new episode talking about everything Goosebumps, whether it be the books, TV shows, movies, video games, merchandise, whatever it is. If it has Goosebumps in the name, we're going to talk about it so much. We're going to talk about it till the cows come home. So, with all that said, if you end up liking today's episode, make sure you leave a like and comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell notification to get updates when new episodes go up every Wednesday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you are dying to get those episodes early, however, you can catch them a day early over on our audio platforms. We're available on platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, you can follow the Goosebumps Crew over on social media. You can follow us on platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and our brand new accounts over on Blue Sky, Tumblr, and Threads. So you can follow us over there. You can also follow Goosebumps Aussie Fan and Sean, respectively. That's Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps Aussie Fan and Sean, respectively, on their social medias and their YouTubes. Check them out. All those links are in the description below. Join the Goosebumps Crew today. Become a crew member. And we thank you in advance for your support. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially March, and that means one thing. That means March Madness. For those of you who are big basketball fans, March is the biggest month besides the playoffs. And today we are doing something similar for our own sort of little March Madness, but it doesn't really have anything to do with basketball. Surprisingly, it's actually going to have something to do with Goosebumps, of course. So we're doing our own little March Madness here on the Goosebumps Crew Podcast, our own little March Madness bracket, to find out what book is the best book in the original 62, plus a couple of Series 2000s to fill out the bracket. So this is just for fun. We're doing this little one this week for fun, just to be topical with March Madness.
Everyone knows our best book. Everyone already knows what we consider our best book.
Well, we're going to see how it stacks up in the tourney and on our bracket. So all 62 original books plus the first two Series 2000, that's 64 books in total that we will be tourneying and seeing which one comes out on top. Now,
Ride the Living Dummy and Cry the Cat as well.
That is correct. So before we get into it, we do have a bracket that we'll be using. And actually, I do want to read off from this article really quick. Back in 2015, there was a Forbes article that went up that says, official Goosebumps March Madness bracket is already wrong. So basically, in the lead up to the 2015 movie, the Goosebumps Tumblr account set up their own March Madness bracket. And this article on Forbes I bring up because it talked about how many of the voting that was being done at the time was objectively incorrect. So reading off of the article, it was released on March 23rd, 2015. So this whole thing is almost 10 years old, just about. From David Gonzalez, He writes, which brings us to using nostalgia to pass on these books to a new generation of children. Scholastic is well aware and launched a bracket-style competition amongst the original 62 books and 2 selections from Series 2000 to see which Goosebumps book will reign supreme before this August's Goosebumps movie hits theaters. So this was back when they were thinking it was going to be in August. It says, spurs more interest in reading amongst the horror comedy loving middle school youth of America. They released an official blank bracket. The voting on these individual pairs are all going down on the official Goosebumps Tumblr, and it's hilarious how the official announcement of the competition encouraged the children of the 90s who have had kids of their own to get involved. This is a Tumblr poll after all, and what good are parents on Tumblr if they aren't voting for their favorite Goosebumps? Also, do middle school kids these days even know what Are You Afraid of the Dark is? Overall, get yourself to the Goosebumps Tumblr over the next week because whomever is voting in this poll is getting some of these key face-offs completely wrong. Last week in the Lawn Gnomes division, Let's Get Invisible beat Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns by almost 2,500 votes. Let's Get Invisible features a group of kids who find a magic mirror that lets them turn invisible for a short amount of time. Eventually, they realize it gets harder and harder to become visible again. Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns features a story that takes place over 3 years as some shy kids try to get Halloween revenge on their bullies. The victory of number 6 over number 48 is wrong. Last week in the Slappy division, Stay Out of the Basement, where a mad scientist father accidentally makes a plant clone of himself and his kids start to catch on. It lost 5,871 to 5,241 against Monster Blood. And so Monster Blood beat out Stay Out of the Basement.
Blood 6, man.
It says, Stay Out of the Basement is a frightening story where the protagonists are not even safe with their parents, and Monster Blood is a story about a magical cat witch casting an evil spell on a container of green goo, basically Nickelodeon slime. GAC was big in 92 and 93. The victory is as close
as we found out. I think that's what they used even in the show.
In the show, yeah. So, and last week in the early division, The Beast from the East beat Monster Blood 3 by a little more than 500 points.
That's fine. Beast from the East is better than Monster Blood 3.
It says which is to say neither of these books are very good, but Monster Blood shouldn't win anything ever.
No, like, Beast from the East is not a bad Goosebump book. It's just a quick, fun one.
That's how I was. It's kind of a mid one. It's a mid one.
It's a mid one. It's a mid one. But you know what? Surprisingly, I know a lot of people that love that book. My friend Logan, that's one of his favorites. Like, it's weird, Beast from the East. It's like, I'm not a big fan of it, but I know people that are. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I've come across anybody who says that's their favorite.
Well, continuing, it says,
it's like some people enjoy it. I don't know. Like, I mean, the cover art is beautiful, Tim. Love it. Love the colors with all the plants and stuff.
Well, one more. The most egregious error in week 1 of the Goosebumps bracket was in the horrors division. 2 of my favorite Goosebumps books, this being the author, of all time went head-to-head too early in the bracket for this to even be a matchup. It was the horror of Camp Jelly Jam against the Cuckoo Clock of Doom, and Jelly Jam took the W with a score of 6,500 to 4,765. So that's almost 2,000 votes over.
Hey, I wasn't YouTube famous yet, so I have nothing to do with that. That was just strictly people saying. But then Screen Rant did a recent thing where their favorite book was the horror Camp Jelly Jam. They had like Haunted Mask and Night Living Dummy, like kind of toss up. And I'm like,
they like it. I see people say they hate it, so it's a toss up, that one. But it says the Cuckoo Clock of Doom is the closest R.L. Stine ever got to a Twilight Zone episode, featuring a cuckoo clock that sends our protagonist further back in time each day. Horror at Camp Jelly Jam has a surprise ending that makes no logical sense, but is so wild I still have fun explaining the reveal to those who don't remember. In terms of structure and craft, though, Cuckoo Clock deserved to go longer in this bracket. Though now Camp Jelly Jam has to go against Monster Blood 2, the book that ends with the protagonist wrestling a 2-story tall hamster. We can't let Monster Blood 2 win.
Or Camp Jelly Jam will win, I guess.
Join me over at the Goosebumps Tumblr this week, trying to turn everything around and read with your children. That's always good advice. So that is what we have right now for that bracket. Of course, that was back in March of 2015. Now it's March of 2025, and we are putting our own spin on this Goosebumps bracket. All right, so here we are with the Goosebumps Monster Madness 2025. So here, of course, as I said, we have the original 62 books plus 2 Series 2000 to round up the required 64 slots. Now, compared to the 2015 bracket that was done officially by the Goosebumps Tumblr account, I switched around the titles, so this is not one-to-one with the original bracket. This is entirely new, and we're going to see where these books go. Of course, we have...
Well, good night, everyone. It's Champion. I'm going to call it now.
Different divisions. We have the Slappy division,
champion,
the Curly
What's
division,
the chicken division,
the Horrors division, and the Lawn Gnomes division. And we're gonna
chicken. Can we make one chicken division?
Well,
that's just fun to say. Chicken division.
Chicken division. There's an honorary chicken division, but we're gonna see which one of these 64 books makes it to this champion slot. Now,
okay, to make this interesting, are we not allowed to put our favorite books in? Because it's too obvious.
I would say let's just go in with what book of the two is objectively better. So leave our biases at the door. Which one is objectively better than the other? So that's
not entirely fair.
Because we already know what's going to be in Champion. In Champion, it's either going to be The Haunted Mask.
Well, we can't just say Chicken's going to win because Chicken is a book that we like. So
the greatest ever.
Okay,
it's going to be one of our 3 favorites that ends up in Champion.
This is all opinion. This is just for fun. You know, if your favorite book doesn't win a certain matchup, nothing against it. It's our own personal opinions, and it's just for fun. So with all that said, we're going to start right here with the Slappy division. And our first matchup is the Blob They Ate Everyone versus the Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
I think the Blob. I'm going to enter the Blob. I think the Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
So are we judging this by like the monster of the book, or are we judging this by the story?
The story of the book.
Okay.
I would say
if this is monster versus monster bracket, Blob clearly is going to take everything. I feel,
but not all of these books have identifiable monsters in them. So let's say it's mostly on. It's like 80% the story, but if it has a cooler monster, that can be another factor.
We can also contribute Tim's cover art
and the cover art. We can. All those things are going to come together.
It's got to have a small factor, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do all 3 factors: cover art, story, and monster.
Yep. So I would say, me personally, I actually like, in terms of the cover arts, I do like Blob more, but I like the story of Cuckoo Clock more. And Blob, I would say Blob has a better monster, but I think the story of Cuckoo Clock is overall better. While I like the Blob monster, it's really only relegated to the end of the story, and it's a fun climax, but a lot of Blob They Ate Everyone is mostly build up. It's a lot of mystery and tension, and the Blob's just sort of like the center of the climax. So while I like the monster, I love the cover art. I personally think Cuckoo Clock is...
Yeah, I pick Cuckoo Clock as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's overall better. Mm-hmm. And the episode, and if we're also adding in the TV episode was a lot better.
The leaps and bounds over. Yeah,
I think Cuckoo Clock wins in a few more brackets.
No, definitely. Well, we're doing justice to Mr. Gonzalez here because Cuckoo Clock is going on to the next bracket. All right,
but
I didn't even get to say mine. What the fuck?
Okay.
Which one? Yeah.
I'll do it then.
I mean, it was a cool clock doom, but it doesn't matter. You skip me. I don't want to play anymore.
Okay, you gotta be quicker than that. This is March Madness.
Cuckoo Clock of Doom. Night of the Living Dummy 2. I think we can all agree already.
I would definitely say Night of the Living Dummy 2 sweeps my hair.
Yeah, this is a quick one. Sorry, Harry, Larry. Yeah.
Especially if we're factoring in the episode. The episode is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
I think Dummy 2 is like a nostalgic, iconic one, and Harry's Adventure is not. So I think that easy.
This is a...
All right, so
Ooh,
next
this is a
up
good
we
one.
got Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes versus I Live in Your Basement. I
Basement
like.
has a good story.
I think I Live in Your Basement. I think the monsters. I do like Keith as the monster. The whole concept of the inside out creature. I like the cover art more. Both are good cover arts, but I do like the I Live in Your Basement one. And I think I Live in Your Basement in general is one of the most underrated Goosebumps stories, especially in the original series. So I would say I Live in Your Basement sweeps for this one. What do you guys
Next,
think?
Nick.
Yeah, I don't know. See, when you factor in, because it didn't have an episode. I do love the Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes episode, though.
The Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes
let's
episode is good. I think the book is pretty mid, to be honest. I don't think it's one of the best Goosebumps books. I do think it's a good episode, but in terms of the book, it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think I'm giving this one to I Live in Your Basement.
Yeah, I Live in Your Basement's a better story for sure. It's definitely one of the most underrated. Lawn Gnomes is just it's like what you said about Monster Blood. It's recognizable. The episode was good. The movie really pushed the Lawn Gnomes.
Yes. No, definitely.
But you know what? They worked for the movie. They worked for the movie because they're like little destructive, little annoying things. You know, like it works for the movie.
Yeah, but it's such a shame that I Live in Your Basement is such a rare book because I think it is a really good story in terms of.
Might get a re-release. Might get a republished one.
Who knows? All right, I think this one's going to be pretty easy. We got Night of the Living Dead 3 versus Monster Blood 4. Monster Blood 4 is objectively one of the worst Goosebumps books ever. That's not an unpopular opinion. That's not a hot.
A lot of people.
That's a very cold take to say Monster Blood 4.
I was going to say majority of people will agree with that. I mean, I have seen people say that's their favorite book, which whatever to each their own, like I said. But like majority,
favorite slappy one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Majority they hate Monster Blood 4. So
yeah, Dummy 3 has it ticks every box. Good episode, good book, good cover art, good book, good monster. I mean, what are we even debating here?
I will say I will give Monster Blood 4 credit. I do like the cover art. I do like the little blue blobs. Maybe your opinion varies. I think it's funny and I like the cover art. But that's the only thing about that I like.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we've talked about before on this podcast, where we love Tim's art, or not even just Tim's art. You know, it could be Mark or Craig as well. The story itself, though, just blew.
Yeah. Well, Living Dummy 3 is not even my favorite Slappy book.
Not every story is a winner.
Yeah,
it's like my third favorite Slappy book. And Tim said it was his favorite cover out of the Slappy books. Remember, he said Living Dummy 3.
I think Living Dummy 3, and this is a topic for another time too, I think Living Dummy 3 was greatly improved by the episode. I don't personally care for the book.
Yeah, it was.
Because I thought it was too unfair to the main characters. I felt that Zane was a little too much of a little shit. The episode sort of like humanized those characters a little more, and they were a lot more bearable. So Living Dummy 3, it's not one of my favorite Slappy books, but in terms of this, leaps and bounds. So Night of the Living Dummy 3 wins this one.
The episode was very good. It's nostalgic.
It's a great one. It's a very good one. I go back and forth on which one's my favorite Slappy episode because I think all three of them are very enjoyable.
It's one of the better season 2 episodes, I guess, if you put it that way. Like especially like two-parters. Yeah. Welcome to Dead House.
It really just depends on
Wonder Mouse 2.
The type of Slappy you're into. Like part 2 was more scary. Part 3 was more like
funny,
weird because of the actor they had in a suit of Slappy. But I guess you could say that was more comedic side. I guess
part
and they really went
very tension focused. Part 2
some parts were.
It was different because it was two-parter, so they had more time to really like build up the suspense and I feel like because Slappy in that episode was able to turn people into dummies, I feel like he was more of a threat. Because to be incredibly honest, in 2 and Bride, he really doesn't do a whole lot that's threatening. He just kind of exists and people are scared of him. So
he psychologically messes, I guess. But yeah,
I think part 3, he's a psychological threat and an actual like threat physically, in a sense. So anyway, moving on to our next bracket, we got One Day at Horrorland versus Piano Lessons Can Be Murder.
That's hard for me.
This one is actually hard. For the last few were pretty easy. This one is pretty difficult.
The book, I love the cover. I love the episode of Piano Lessons.
Yeah, Piano Lessons is a great story. I do think it's a great book, but I'm torn because I like Horrorland. I love the Horrorland book. Yeah. I like the episode. I don't love it, but I like it. I will say I do like the I do think in terms of monsters, the horrors are definitely more iconic.
Yeah.
And I do personally prefer the Horrorland cover art to the Piano Lessons cover art.
Yeah.
I actually really like both. I mean, for different reasons. I mean, the fact that, you just got a pair of hands playing a piano really sets the tone for that book.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim really captured that very eloquently. But like he kind of said, it's a little on the nose, though, too. It kind of gives away some of that book, without meaning to. Yeah, without really meaning to. Yeah. So it's kind of detriment in its own right.
I think we're thinking about the TV show as well a lot, like, because when you really think about it, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder is a better episode, just way better. The actors, like, it was kind of disturbing, I mean, One at Horrorland was fun, but obviously it was a bit, it was very season 3 Goosebumps.
But it was also hindered by the fact
it was restricted by its budget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That one was kind of done over.
The Piano Lessons Can Be Murder episode had the really creepy moments, like genuinely creepy moments.
I think Piano Lessons is a
on my book. I got to give it to Horrorland.
Yeah, Horrorland wins by
I would say Horrorland. Piano Lessons is a better story, but I feel like in terms of cover art, monster, it just kind of
Yeah, Horrorland wins for that.
I would say
it checks off more boxes for me than Piano Lessons, even though I love both.
This one we don't even need to.
Okay, yeah. This one is also difficult, but not for the exact opposite reasons. Because I don't really like either of these books.
I like You Can't Scare Me.
I don't like You Can't Scare Me, the book. I like the episode, but I don't like the book. And that's difficult because I do think, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I think Why I'm Afraid of Bees is a better story. I think Why I'm Afraid of Bees is a better story because I like the sort of body horror aspect. I like the sort of takeoff on the fly, the 1950s fly. I will say, though, it has the edge because it has a good episode, You Can't Scare Me, and You Can't Scare Me's cover is one of my absolute all-time favorites from Tim. So this is a little difficult.
No, not for me. I'm going with You Can't Scare Me.
You Can't Scare Me?
You Can't Scare Me, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's give it to You Can't Scare Me.
I mean, realistically, it did have a good story, but the cover art is far superior than Why I'm Afraid of Bees, and it has the edge of an episode. Yeah, where obviously Why I'm Afraid of Bees didn't.
As a kid, I used to get so scared of looking at the cover.
Yeah, no, I love that cover art. That was one of the books that, like, when I started
it's one of the more iconic covers for sure.
Definitely. So, yeah, objective.
This one, Go Eat Worms, obviously.
No, this one's a sweep. We all know what one this is. It's the Haunted.
We didn't have to even talk.
I was going to say Go Eat Worms, guys. Come on.
Oh,
you know what? It would actually be
no. If we actually went with Go Eat Worms, we would probably get tons of nasty.
Dude, all of our followers would fucking leave.
No,
and I wouldn't blame a single one of them.
No, this is.
You know what though? There is someone out there in the Goosebumps community that loves Go Eat Worms. Okay, remember that.
Oh yeah,
just like someone out there would say George Clooney's the best Batman. Like there would be someone out there that says this and that about whatever. So
okay, let's not get too crazy about George Clooney being the best Batman. Okay, let's.
No, I'm saying there would be someone out there.
Let's be realistic here. Come back down to earth.
Just like there'd be somebody out there who thinks Go Eat Worms is better than Haunted Mask. They don't exist.
whoever that is, are you watching this comment?
Oh God.
Yeah,
I would be
real. Don't just say it to say it. I mean, if Go Eat Worms is your favorite, legitimately, over the Haunted Mask,
please tell us why.
Please let us know why.
God, tell us why you think that.
We just want to know.
No, man. In terms of obviously story, definitely TV episode, and just overall, cover art, definitely. Every single box, it just trumps Go Eat Worms
episode. Now, Go Eat Worms had a giant phallus worm, so I mean that was a plus, I guess, for some people on that one.
Would have had a better chance if it wasn't going up against the goat. Okay, so
right. Well, if they would have put that phallus worm into Carly Beth's sandwich when she bit into it, maybe
I will say I'm a little nervous that this is going to turn out to be very predictable, because Haunted Mask we always say is like one of the best Goosebumps books, if not the best Goosebumps book.
Gonna be hard to beat, and that's why I say maybe we should have took out the top dogs.
We should take out the top dogs. Realistically, we should take out
Series 2000 books in there or something.
You know what? We should at least take out our three favorites. So Isaiah, I think Night Living Dummy 2 should be taken out. Haunted Mask and Horror Camp Jelly Jam taken out.
Well, I feel like again we would get some comments. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. So,
but you know what?
But then we'll get comments that we're biased. You can't win.
But you know what? I think this would be more fun to figure out which one we say is our favorite that's not our favorite, because we wouldn't know what's going to end up in the champion, right?
That's what we wouldn't know.
So we wouldn't know what's going to end up in the champion slot. We'd be like, oh my God, it could be anything. And it depends what goes head to head that could be the champion.
Well,
maybe for the next round, we just have to pick the other book.
That would not be.
We just have to pick the other book for the next round.
Okay.
Of those three.
Moving on, we got Headless Ghost and Shocker on Shock Street.
Oh, this is difficult for me, actually.
This one is pretty rough.
It's pretty difficult for me, actually, that one. I like both.
I think it's just because I like ghost stories more, but I also honestly, I love the cover. I did like the episode. A bit more than the Shocker on Shock Street episode.
I do like the episode. The episode's one of my favorite episodes, Headless Ghost.
I think Headless Ghost wins, but that is, in terms of the book,
I'm going Headless
Ghost. I like both relatively the same.
Yeah. I just
quality-wise, I do like relatively the same.
I do like Headless Ghost. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to say the Headless Ghost.
Oh, this next one's
Shocker on Shock Street is a great story, but I am a sucker for ghost stories, and I do think that it has a great TV episode. So
the next one's easy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the story, because it could be a shitty ghost story, but it actually does have a good ghost story. It's definitely one of my favorites.
Better? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we got Welcome to Camp Nightmare and My Best Friend's Invisible. I think we can relatively say it's Camp Nightmare.
This is a quick one, much like the Haunted Mask one. This is a quick one. Yeah.
This next one's easy. To be honest.
Best Friend's Invisible, I thought was okay. It's. I do think Let's Get Invisible is the better of the Invisible books. But I thought it was okay.
I think it's just because, again, Stein in the early days was a bit more dark on his stories. And that really worked for that kind of story. Yeah. Whereas My Best Friend is Invisible, not so much. I did not really enjoy that book, to be honest.
No. All right. So next up, we got Ghost Next Door and Vampire Breath.
This one's for you, our good friend, Goosebumps, Ultimate Goosebump Man. I say Ghost Next Door.
Yep, our good friend Micah is going to be very happy, because I would definitely say Ghost Next Door. Here's one thing. Look, I love Ghost Next Door's cover, but me personally, I actually think I like Vampire Breath's cover more.
No, I was going to say, I actually like Vampire Breath's cover more than Ghost Next Door. Not that the Ghost Next Door isn't bad. It's just not...
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's not provocative enough to really capture my interest in the story compared to Vampire Breath. if you're looking at them objectively like that. So
yeah.
But story wise, I mean, I'd go with Ghost Next Door for sure.
Yeah, I would certainly say so. And I like the episode.
Very tragic one. It's a tragic story, and they did it, and it's really well done. So,
well, and here's the thing: I like the episode for Vampire Breath, but obviously, Ghost Next Door it's a lot like Haunted Mask, where it's a very tragic story. Honestly, Ghost Next Door is even more tragic than Haunted Mask because it deals with a dead child.
Yeah, I mean,
if you died in a fire.
Died in a fire. Yeah.
It's a very deep story, so yeah, definitely I would say go.
But I'll be honest, the episode puts me to sleep.
This next one. This
one is going to be fun. We have Monster Blood versus the Barking Ghost.
I think I prefer the Barking Ghost cover because I always love the cover art. I love that dog. It looks really like.
I gotta disagree. I do like Monster Blood's cover. Monster Blood 1, I think, had a pretty good cover because of the slime going down the stairs. Even just like the glasses.
It is an iconic cover for sure. Monster Blood.
It's an iconic cover, but Barking Ghost makes a better T-shirt with the big.
Well, Barking Ghost doesn't make a better story.
I don't disagree.
Barking Ghost, look. We have the joke, Monster Blood can't win anything. I'm sorry, in this scenario, Barking Ghost
Monster Blood might win in this one.
Shit. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta say it's Monster Blood for me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I really have to think about this one, so Bjorn knows. I'll let him go.
I say Monster Blood overall. Like
I'm comparing to two piles of shit. Which one has less corn in it?
But if I was what's the more nostalgic?
One of them's
I have three brackets for this. More nostalgic cover art is Monster Blood. But if I was getting a T-shirt, I would get one that has the fucking big dog on it because it's more productive. Like you said, I said earlier, I would have that. Then the story, I think Monster Blood is just a notch. Let's say it's one notch above.
They both have episodes. I think Barking Ghost is a terrible episode too. Terrible book, terrible episode. Monster Blood, even though I didn't like the first one, I do like more Monster Blood. So if you were to count that, I think that kind of gives it the edge in that scenario. Cover art's up in the air, but yeah, I gotta say that in terms of story, Monster Blood has to win this one. I would say.
Well, I already have my answer for the next one. I don't need to say anymore.
Well, you know what? This one is hard. Because I know you like Horror Camp Jelly Jam, and I love the cover, and it's a good story. But I actually... Oh, man.
You got to go with the cover art and the story. I picked both for that one.
Well, we also got to go off the monster.
I was going to say, going by cover, I give it to Jelly Jam, but by story, that's really tough. I honestly really liked both stories, but I will say... Haunted School was probably one of the more scary books Stein had written in a while since probably the original stuff.
Hopeless book, it's
so
like,
yeah.
Man, yeah,
that's
it's got a better monster. Jelly Jam does, but
that's 2 out of 3. You just answered your question.
but the story is the main bread and butter of the whole thing. The story, it all comes down.
It didn't get an episode either. Jelly Jam didn't get an episode, but Haunted School did. And we do love the Haunted School episode. I don't know.
Haunted School didn't get an episode?
Haunted School didn't get an episode. Perfect School was the
Perfect School.
But yeah.
Sorry. So crossing schools here.
Yeah, it comes down. I think it's going to come down to story. It has better cover art and it has better monster. Oh, man, this is tough. This is tough because I love both these books.
You guys pick what you want.
I'm honestly, I think I'm going to give it to Jelly Jam.
Where are you going, Jelly Jam?
While I wasn't a fan of the ending, like some people have said before.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick what you honestly would pick.
And I love it.
I gotta say, I'd honestly pick Haunted School. I think this is like the first one where we're at a crossroads because I love Haunted School. Jelly Jam is a great book. But I can't get over Haunted School. That was just one I was like thinking.
Look, I agree. Haunted School has a really scary story.
It's a scary story.
It does.
Yeah. I gotta say, it all comes down to story, I'm afraid. So I don't know.
It's my friend Adam's favorite is the Haunted School. So, but then I'm also I don't want to pick it just for the fact that I don't want to pick my favorite book because I was hoping I didn't ever have to put my favorite book in this.
If you look at it objectively. Which one? Because right now, like, not going by like cover, let's just go by story. Which is the better story?
I gotta say, it's Haunted School. For me, it's Haunted School.
Man, I don't know. Horror Camp Jelly Jam's my favorite, like, all around. I still pick that for my all around, but it's up to you
Nick,
guys.
what about you? You're our tiebreaker on this one.
Well, I was gonna say if that was the choice you made, we already had the decision of Jelly Jam because I voted for Jelly Jam.
Okay, then I guess we're going with Horror Camp Jelly Jam.
You could almost just say
this pains me.
Almost just say
I love Haunted School.
You know what? It's a coin toss.
Now you know what it's like. It was a sports fan when your team loses.
You didn't know.
It doesn't make it to the next round. It sucks.
Yeah, no, that sucks.
It was a coin toss. That's all it was. It was a coin toss. Flip a coin for you, Nick.
I actually do have my Halloween medallion here. I can flip.
No, you guys for Jelly Jam.
Gamble.
No, we're not gambling. You guys went for Jelly Jam.
But what would it have been if you flicked the coin?
Heads, folks, is the scary one. Tails, the happy one.
I don't think Horror Camp Jelly Jam is very happy. My slave labor in that one.
What do we got? What do we got?
Okay, yeah, what we already knew.
It was Horror Camp Jelly Jam anyway. Okay. All right.
It's over.
I said let the coin decide.
Next one, we got Werewolf of Fever Swamp versus Deep Trouble. I think this one's pretty.
It's an open and close case.
Yeah, it's
Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Clearly.
Oh shit! I thought it was going to be Deep Trouble. Come on, guys.
Of course you did.
Hey, some people really like Deep Trouble. Like some people really do.
Deep Trouble. Deep Trouble 1 is okay. Deep Trouble 2, I think, is personally not good in terms of being a book.
Even though it was on the bestseller list.
It's on the bestseller list, yeah, but
well, I think I feel that's only because Goosebumps was like hyped extremely by the show at the time.
Yeah.
So the books were doing extremely well too because of that.
Yeah.
So,
but
not to say because it was a good story.
Deep Trouble 1
Oh my god. Is this Beast from the East and Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns? Okay, that's another easy one.
Oh yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. I can't even joke about that one. That one's just
that's the all-around better. There isn't a TV episode. I love Tim's cover art of Beast from the East because the use of colors is really pretty down the bottom with the plants. Like if I'm going based on like a real artsy in colors, like he just did such a good job with those colors, like the mixtures.
But he did on the Attack of the Jack-O-Lantern one too.
That's one of Renee's favorite books because I don't know if you guys know, but she does a lot of art. And she actually looked at the cover of that one day and just went, wow, those are really pretty colors, like how he's blended those. In the bottom, not even the monster, it's the bottom of the book. Like all those plants. She said it's such a good use of colors and really nice to look at, like from an art perspective. So like
how Tim got the job.
It's a pretty cover.
Yeah. All right. So that one's pretty cut and dry. Next up we got Say Cheese
this
and
one
Pie.
though.
That's hard, man.
That's
hard.
Oh man,
this is difficult. Hardest one.
That's the hardest one yet. Because the TV episode is fucking like 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10 for me.
Girl Cried Monster is good, very good, and it's one of the best.
It's so scary. Like it's terrifying. The Ryan Gosling one is iconic, but it's also really cringy.
But at the same time, too, I would say I do like Say Cheese and Die's cover more than Girl Cried Monster. But again, it all comes down to story.
And that's hard, man. I love
the story.
I love it. I like Say Cheese and Die as well. Oh my god. This is can we do a coin toss for this one?
No, we can't do it.
I can't answer this one.
No, okay. All right. Here's how I'll put it. Say Cheese and Die is super iconic, but Girl Cried Monster does have a better episode. It does have one of the best twists in the entire Goosebumps series. And I do think that overall, Girl Cried Monster is a tighter story. Like, I feel like it's more closely woven together.
Yeah. I love Girly Cry Monster. That's so big. That one's a big.
It pains me so much, but you know what? I think I gotta say
I'm going with Girl Cried Monster.
I think I gotta
I
say
love Say Cheese and Die, Earl Stein. It's one of your GOAT. It's one of the GOAT stories, but I
do agree with you. I think the cover for Say Cheese and Die is better, but everything else, I gotta give it to Girl Cried Monster.
Look, I'm gonna flip the coin anyway, and we got tails, which is what I had for Girl Cry Monster anyway.
Well, there we go. Then
that answered my question because I really couldn't decide on that one. But yeah, no, right. I think that was difficult.
The last first bracket of the horrors division, and we got Abominable Snowman of Pasadena versus Return of the Mummy.
Return of the Mummy for me.
It's like Battle of the. Honestly, it's like Battle of the Mid because I think both these books are kind of mid.
Return of the Mummy to me is better than.
I think I'm just giving it to Return of the Mummy due to the cover.
Return of the Mummy. Return of the Mummy, I think, has a better.
It's slightly better.
Better location in terms of story. I do like the cover art more. It does have an edge of having an episode, even though I don't think it's a great episode. And I think in terms of the monster, I do like the Mummy more than I like the Abominable Snowman. So
it's Prince Koru. Like, he wins.
Yeah. I mean, he was all over 90s merch and stuff too. So I mean,
he
was popular.
Yeah. All right, now we're moving on over to the Curly division. Starting off, we got Haunted Mask 2 versus Calling All Creeps.
This is difficult because Haunted Mask 1 is obviously like so much better than Haunted Mask 2, but like story-wise. But then Calling All Creeps is really good. But is Calling All Creeps better than the Haunted Mask 2, Nick? Not better than the original, but is it better than the second?
Story-wise, by the books, yes. 100% in my opinion, because I didn't like the story of what they did with Steve in the book. That's why I'm glad the episode was rewritten, and they did so much better with the story for the Haunted Mask 2, like leaps and bounds.
We're mainly going off the books, but I will say Haunted Mask 2 definitely better episode than Calling All Creeps, even though I do think Calling All Creeps episode is good.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's a good episode too. I'll still watch it to this day. Yeah,
they're good episodes, and Haunted Mask 2, without a doubt, it's a fantastic.
Breathe on him, Wart.
But in terms of the books, I do think Haunted Mask, it is one of those cases where the episode greatly improved on the book, because I think the book is not great. I don't think Steve is a very great character to follow in the book because he's just too much of an asshole.
No.
Calling All Creeps, I think.
I would... God, yeah, what do you think? I would honestly...
Because I love both covers, so for me, it had to come down, and I like both episodes. Now, granted, I like the episode of Haunted Mask 2 more than Calling All Creeps, although I like both. So it already wins there in that term, but like, yeah, when you look at story, man, I gotta go with Calling All Creeps. It's just based on the book story, in my opinion.
Because, great episode, but we're mainly focusing on the book here, and in terms of the book... Calling All Creeps is the better book. So,
I agree.
If they would have made the book story what the episode story was, it would be a no-brainer. I'd pick Haunted Mask 2.
Yeah. If it was like the episode, it would have been Haunted Mask 2.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got How to Kill a Monster versus Stay Out of the Basement.
Dr. Brewer, man.
I was gonna say I enjoy How to Kill a Monster, but Stay Out of the Basement wins in every category.
Well, funny enough, the cover arts both have green hands lurking out of doors.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, Tim, this is the one time where I'm going with a different cover art to yours.
No, I do think Stay Out of the Basement.
Wait a minute. How do you know it's not his cover of Stay Out of the Basement?
Oh, wait.
If you're going off
I still like
the original.
I like his How to Kill a Monster more than his Stay Out of the Basement cover.
But yeah, Stay Out of the Basement. It's an iconic story. It's a great story. Great episode, 2-parter. How to Kill Monsters episode was fine. It was okay. It's one I enjoy watching personally. Don't agree?
If I didn't have to watch it again for any reason, I don't. It's not Barking Ghost level, but I mean I'd watch it obviously over Barking Ghost or something like that, but
yeah. But I think in terms of
the mid episode,
all the check marks, we got Stay Out of the Basement. All right, next up. Curse of the Mummies
Oh,
and Ghost Beach.
Ghost Beach wins the
this
cover.
is rough.
Ghost Beach wins the cover. I think in terms of the cover, Ghost Beach wins over the cover.
Yeah.
Both not great stories, though.
Curse of the Mummies Tomb didn't have an episode. Ghost Beach's episode, though, was terrible, in my opinion. I think Ghost Beach, the episode, was very, very bad.
I think both episodes were rough.
Executed. The skeleton faces, that was bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was terrible. One of the worst effects in the whole show.
Well, I guess if you return the mummy, but yeah, Ghost Beach was rough. Like, I mean, even taking out the bad 90s graphics at the time, I mean, overall, between the acting, the whole concept, the concept of the story was fine until you get to the point it's like, oh, we're your relatives and we eat dogs. And what kind of mom, by the way, sends these kids to visit their what were they, like distant cousins or something?
Like
How old are their cousins?
Like, twice
grandparents.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, the episode.
These are grandparents, bro.
Wait, was it the episode only that was just the old people? Were they old in the book? I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I've read the book.
Either way,
there's too many books to remember every detail.
But either way, I mean, when you look at the episodes, like Jesus Christ, like what the hell? Like they're literally like grandparent age, but they're your cousins. And then, how does your mom send you there but not know they're ghosts?
Not those
like,
are dead.
Like, how did you not know they're dead? It's like,
I think I actually picked Curse of the Mummies.
Have you ever met these people? Have you been there before? Like.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I don't think Curse of the Mummy's Tomb is a particularly standout book. I think Return of the Mummy is a better book compared to Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I just don't really remember much about it.
I think it's better than Ghost Beach, though.
In terms of the book?
The book was okay.
I prefer, I think, Ghost Beach book over the Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
I would say book of Ghost Beach over Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, because honestly, it's another battle in the mid. I think they're both kind of mid stories. I do think the book version of Ghost Beach is better, like by just a little bit.
I love the cover art. It was one of my favorites.
It is a better cover art too, so that's another
the cover
area
art's what steals it for me.
I think I'm going to say Ghost Beach, yeah. So that's what we got.
I mean, that's one of the prints I bought from Tim's website. I mean, like, that's in my house, so I love that cover.
As Nick knows, it's on one of the binders that is very nostalgic to me.
Yes.
It is.
Because that's one of the binders I got from you, too.
Yep.
I make sure you get one. Make sure you got one.
Next up, we got Bad Hair Day and How I Learned to Fly.
Battle of the Mid.
This is easy for me. Yeah, but
I think Bad Hair Day, though.
Yep, Bad Hair Day.
I would say Bad Hair Day. I actually, you know what? I don't think How I Learned to Fly is that bad. I've heard some people say it's one of the worst. I don't think it's one of the worst Goosebumps books. But it's an unremarkable one, and it's the only one in the whole series where I feel like it's not remotely scary. I don't think there's anything scary in it at all. There's no supernatural aspect. There's no monsters. Not even really any villains or anything like that. It's a pretty stakeless.
That's going to be the main focus of season 3 of Goosebumps.
How I Learned to Fly.
Yeah, that's like episode 1. It'll be like, could you imagine?
That'd be
and the kid has to be wearing red Converse sneakers when he starts flying.
If they do adapt it, they has to be wearing the red Converse sneakers. That, like, by all accounts. All right, next up we got Cry of the Cat, and It Came from Beneath the Sink. Again, we're putting in 2 Series 2000s to round out the 64 slots.
I'm gonna say Cry of the Cat just because, like,
I think it's Cry of the Cat.
I think it's better overall, and also, like, that is just such a nostalgic book and cover for me, both. And there's a TV episode for both, but I think
cover art's great.
Cry of the Cat, just to have a Series 2001 go on, I think, yeah.
Well, besides just that, I do feel like it's...
I do like
We're going to have a Series 2001 based on that next bracket, but we're just saying, too. Like, between the two, yeah, I mean, Cry of the Cat.
I'd say Cry of the Cat.
I think both are amazing, but I do like the story of Cry of the Cow
And I
a
do
little
think
more.
the episode is okay. I do think
the episode of It Came Beneath the Sink more than Cry of the Cow.
Oh yeah, in that sense.
Because while not
I
like
just love the
super great episode, the whole the killer sponge and the killer potato at the end really got me. Like I love it.
That was great. I love that.
That was great stuff. But I don't know, when you go in the books, I love both, but Cry of the Cat was better as a book.
Yeah. So
in my opinion.
And yeah,
seriously,
then we got
going to win again.
Bride of the Living Dummy versus Legend of the Lost Legend. I think this one.
No brainer here.
Bride of the Living Dummy. Legend of the Lost Legend is just such a nothing burger book.
Bride of the Living Dummy was actually like a good book. Like it was a good one. It was fun.
Legend of the Lost Legend is I compare that to a potato chip bag. I.e., there's nothing in it.
This is the one where Slappy literally drags the kid across the floor by his neck. Like, he is violent in this one. Like, to me, that's like one of the most violent Slappies in all the books. Mm-hmm. And I really like that one. But Bride is a good Slappy book. Like,
it is a good Slappy book.
I like it better than 3's book. I like it better than 1. I like it better than 1's book. I think it's probably my second favorite Slappy book.
I would say that too. I'd say Living Dummy 1 and then Bride, I think, are like my personal rankings. And then I'd say 1 and 3.
Yeah.
See, I think I'm going Night of Living Dummy 2 is my favorite, not 1. Then Bride, then 1, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bride 1 and 3. Yeah. 3 then
I have 2 Bride 1 and 3. 2 Bride 1 and 3. So
2 Bride 1 and 3, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much 2 Bride 1 and 3. And again, it's a toss up between 1 and 3. Like, I would toss a coin. I like both, but also, that's definitely a good order.
Sorry, Legend of the Lost Legend, you suck.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
Next
up, Lauren, I'm picking Phantom.
Phantom of the Auditorium. I would say Phantom of the Auditorium.
A quick one.
Well, in terms of the book, I would say Phantom of the Auditorium. The book of Don't Go to Sleep is better than the episode.
Oh God, the episode was
I am going to say too, I do like the cover art for Don't Go to Sleep more than Phantom of the Auditorium, because I just like the big hand coming over the bed, over the kid in bed. I think is a great cover art, but I think in terms of story, Phantom is better. So,
yeah, Lauren, you move on to the next round. Your favorite book. You'll be watching this, so.
All right. Oh, here's a pretty easy one right here. Deep Trouble 2 and Welcome to Dead House.
We're talking like the most violent Goosebump book going up against Deep Trouble 2.
Deep Trouble 2. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Welcome to Dead House.
Yeah, in terms of episodes, Dead House beats Deep Trouble, and I like Deep Trouble. I'm probably on an island with that one, but I like Deep Trouble. But Dead House, Dead House beats the cover. Dead House beats the story. Dead House beats the monsters. The zombies are better than the mutant fish and people and creatures. So yeah, it's Welcome to Dead House,
and it's very violent, and I love it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my God! Why did you do this to me?
We are entering
I want to
go to the division, and we got Terror Tower versus
Terror Tower.
Why couldn't you put Chicken against frickin' Deep Trouble or something?
Yeah. Just have one instance where it could have gone to the next round. Nah, guys, we got to give it to Terror Tower.
Terror Tower is one of my all-time favorites ever. It's in my top 10 episode, book, cover, everything. There's like
all the running. Chicken doesn't have running as much running in it, so that's like 1 point above.
Sorry, Chicken.
She never got her head cut off.
Wait, weren't we meant to pick Chicken though? Like all three of us, no matter what it went up against, we were meant to pick it.
No,
I never said that, but
no, that wasn't what we're supposed to do.
Let's just do it. Terror Tower, nothing against you. You are better.
We're not putting it over Terror Tower. There's no way in hell we're putting Chicken over Terror Tower. Let's drop the joke for 1 second. We're not putting Chicken.
It's not a joke.
All right.
It's not a joke.
Okay, this next one is pretty easy. We got Say Cheese and Die Again up against
Slam Dunk here.
Yeah, this one.
All the camp stories have won this, have gone through.
No reason to discuss that. That's
again. Say Cheese and Die Again is the only one among the two with an episode, and yet Say Cheese and Die Again is a dog shit episode. See, there's no use in having an episode over the other if the episode is garbage. So,
not even Ryan Gosling would have saved that.
No, I don't think so. And Say Cheese and Die Again is right up there with the Monster Blood sequels. And like, why does this exist? Why do we need to Say Cheese and Die?
Although I love the cover of Say Cheese and Die Again as well. I do love the cover. But that's the only thing I like is the cover. I love the kids eating the dog.
Cold Lake has a better cover. Like, so.
Like it's got a better cover. Camp Cold Lake. I'm just saying, Say Cheese and Die Again does have a good cover. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good cover, but it's a terrible story, terrible sequel. Why did he go get the camera?
Like small?
I still can't get over this. Greg, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, why do you go get the camera again? Like, because your teacher won't believe. Why are you writing a story about the stupid fucking camera? You know nobody's gonna believe you. And then he's like, "Well, I gotta prove myself so I can get a good grade. So I'm gonna go get the camera that nearly killed my family and my friends last time."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Camp Cold Lake's got a better cover if you're comparing them. It's more ominous and eerie. But I do like the Say Cheese and Die Again cover.
Greg Banks do the darndest things.
Greg Banks and Evan Ross could have a fight out for who is the dumbest motherfucker in Goosebumps. Oh God. Okay, next up.
Oh, this is
a go nowhere book.
This one is
a difficult one for me.
We got How I Got My Shrunken Head versus Be Careful What You Wish For.
I love Shrunken Head.
Easy for me.
What do you
think? Be
careful
what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. God, yeah.
I like Shrunken Head. Man, that cover art's more nostalgic to me. Shrunken Head.
Shrunken Head, I think, is a better cover.
I love the warped, like Tim's style in that.
Well, funny enough, they're both magic centric. They both have to do with magic.
Yeah, they're good. They're good head to head.
I honestly, I gotta agree with Nick. I think it's Be Careful for me because I don't like.
I'm just going by story.
The story is Careful What You Wish For because I don't have to hear that dumb clear.
Well, as I say, then if you even go to the episode,
I think Shrunken Head is a better monster if you're mentioning the Shrunken Head as the monster.
Better monster
has a better cover art, but story and definitely episode. I think Be Careful What You Wish For triumphs because come here.
Next one's easy. Beware the Snowman. Just put it in now. Put it in now.
Yeah, I like the cover for Monster Blood too, but again, it just goes down to story. Because neither one of those got an episode, so just going by the story itself, Beware the Snowman was
Beware the Snowman. Yeah, I think Monster Blood. Monster Blood 2, I'd say, is probably my favorite of the Monster Blood quadrilogy, but only because of Cuddles. Cuddles is the only thing that like differentiates that book.
He's a mascot. He's a mascot.
I think Australia agrees because that's like all over their merch over there.
Look, Cuddles is so, you know what it is? It's like weird. It's such a bad, but Cuddles is so nostalgic. Like, it's so nostalgic. Yeah. He is on everything.
I would say Cuddles beats out
he's on everything.
I'd say Cuddles beats out over the monster category because he's more iconic. Both
as a monster,
yeah, better.
That's it.
But better story for Beware the Snowman. Oh boy, here we go with the Zach Baby. We got Let's Get Invisible versus Attack of the Mutants.
Sorry,
Zach. Sorry, Zach. I gotta say, Let's Get Invisible. I
say Let's Get Invisible, man.
Yeah, I think
Let's Get Invisible to choose Attack of the Mutants.
No, this is when he'd be saying, "No,
no." Boo hoo hoo, no.
Oh, no.
Why are you picking my favorite?
This list is rigged.
This is bullshit.
Let's Get Invisible. It's a better story. It's a better episode. I do like
the cover art for Attack of the Mutant. No, don't get
me wrong. And I will say the Masked Mutant technically is a more identifiable monster than the Mirror People. So I would say like those are the two things it goes over. But again, we're going down to story. Let's Get Invisible triumphs.
Yeah.
All right. This one I think is a no.
I don't think Attack of the Mutant story was that bad.
The story wasn't that bad for Attack of the Mutant. The episode,
the episode, like we talked about, was a little rough. I mean, I do, but like again, like we've talked about, the episode could just been one episode. You really didn't need part one. Most of part one that they showed. Part two is pretty much all you really needed.
Some of the filler from part two, and then just like slapped a little bit of part one in there. Just call it a full episode. Or at the very least,
for
you know what they could have done?
And it might have, and it would have been better.
You know what they could have done if they wanted to have it 2 parts? Like, why does he have to leave constantly? Like, can't he just get trapped in there and then come across a bunch of different superheroes? Like, I feel like that's a way they could have made that work for a 2-parter. It's just too much fucking around, in my opinion.
They probably blew their budget on Adam West, though, so it was like, we can't get any other superheroes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Deadpool.
Maybe don't get Adam West. Blasphemous thing to say.
It's like they can't afford to get more superheroes, you know. Been a fourth wall Deadpool break there.
This next one, Ghost Camp, is such a good story. I know
Ghost
a lot
Camp
of
is a great story, and it's going up against Monster Blood 3, which is a dog shit book. So it's Ghost Camp.
Ghost Camp is one of the creepiest ones. It's a creepy ghost story.
And I didn't care for Monster Blood 3's cover either. I know it's at this point a lot of the OG 62 covers are practically iconic, but
Ghost Camp had a better one. Ghost Camp was a good cover. Like the
Ghost Camp had a much better one.
The dark, it's a really dark book. It's a dark book. When you actually read it, it is creepy. It's really it's an eerie book.
Yeah.
It's a good ghost story in Goosebumps, and I know a lot of people love that one.
These next 2
I wish they made an
are rough.
episode of that. I actually wish they made an episode over. As much as I love Horror Camp Jelly Jam, is it wrong for me to say I would have preferred a Ghost Camp's episode? Because I think if they handled
Ghost Camp episode, Ghost Camp
it would have been a really creepy episode if they did it. I think a creepy one.
Yeah, definitely. All right, next up we got
Cold Lake. I think would have been a good episode.
We got
this is hard because
Egg Monsters.
Egg Monsters from Mars. I think I like the story more than the original Night Living Dummy. But Night Living Dummy's cover art is if not the most Haunted Mask. Night Living Dummy's original cover arts are the 2 most iconic. They're used on everything. It's the slappy up, it's just so good. But I think Egg Monsters. I think I like the story.
This is tough.
I like Egg Monsters.
Neither one got an episode, so you can't have that
factor that in.
Be a tiebreaker either.
Well, and in this one, in terms of monsters, you technically can't say Slappy. You got to say Mr. Wood.
You're not saying Slappy. See, we're not counting you Slappy in this one. You don't worry. It's Mr. Wood, and he sucks ass.
Even though you were on the cover.
Oh god! But then the cover art for Night Living Dummy is so iconic.
Cover art is great, but I also like Egg Monsters.
If I'm going by story, I'm going to Egg Monsters.
I think Egg Monsters has a better story. Even I'm saying that.
I think Egg Monsters did have a better story.
Yeah, I think Egg Monsters has a better story.
Yeah,
this is the one Slappy book that doesn't make it through. Every other one did.
When you compare
crazy,
covers Night Living Dummy, but you compare story Egg Monsters, and at the end of the day, because we're doing this by the story being the heavyweight,
because Egg Monsters
decision making
for most of it is so paranoia centric, because it's a kid trapped being held hostage with these alien creatures. I think it's just because there's so much paranoia and claustrophobia because he's stuck in this place. It does better at being scary than Living Dummy 1. And Living Dummy 1, to be honest, I feel like the sequels outdid what that book was doing anyway. Just did those scenes better.
Look, as iconic as that cover art is, it's literally the 2 most iconic is that and Haunted Mask.
It's the Friday the 13th of
Goosebumps. They're the goat covers, yeah. But so story-wise, Egg Monsters, Egg
Monsters. Who knew? All right.
Look, the cover art is so iconic. I've freaking got it tattooed. I've got 50 copies of the book because I just it's pretty to look at. It's pretty.
I'm gonna say if you're going strictly by the cover, I mean, this wouldn't be a fair bracket. I mean, because we have our opinions about everything, of course, but Night Living Dummy is a far superior cover to Egg Monsters. Let's be real.
It's literally that. It's so eerie,
and it would, like you said, it would come down, I do believe, to the Haunted Mask and Night Living Dummy. We wouldn't even need to do this bracket if it was just based on cover art, because those are the 2 most iconic covers.
Yeah.
So going by story, if story gets the most weight out of all the categories, then Egg Monsters for show.
Yep.
Now, Werewolf Skin and the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, that is super tough for me.
Yeah,
I love.
I love the werewolf stories.
Both those books. I love both those episodes. I love both cover arts.
Yes,
but Scarecrow Walks at Midnight doesn't have a legend in it.
No, but it has chocolate chip pancakes and Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
But then you had the bus lady in werewolf skin. Give me back my head.
My fat heart says go with chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh my god, this is hard.
Oh man,
I love werewolf stories, dude. That's the problem. I love werewolf stories.
But I also
I do too.
Walks at Midnight. I love the werewolf skin episode, but Scarecrow Walks at Midnight is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
It's creepy.
God.
But we're going based on the book. Okay,
right.
What am I picking here?
If you had to squeeze my arm and force me to choose, I would probably have to go with Scarecrow. Mostly because I think because it's so isolated, and I think the Scarecrows are the more creepy monster of them because they're sort of walking
closets. You put a werewolf in front of me and a Scarecrow, I think the werewolf's a bit scarier, but
yeah. I mean, they're both scary monsters. Don't get me wrong.
One's fast and one's slow.
Much fast. Like the Wicked Witch of the West, I just give that Scarecrow a little fire, and it's all good to go. He's gone. Werewolf, though, how many people walk around with silver bullets? You know what I mean? It's like, okay.
Yeah. You guys have more over there than Australia does, so at least you got that. I'll just say it. We don't really have guns here.
Yeah,
it's not heard of. When you hear of Australia,
trust me, I'm not a gun advocate at all. So
when you hear,
I'm very much against guns.
Here, it's
I gotta say, I think I personally am gonna say Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
I'm coin tossing this one. I actually cannot decide. Like I like both very evenly here. Like book. I'm
Nick,
actually gonna coin toss this one.
I'm gonna give it to my. I'll let Bjorn's. Figure out.
You want to do my coin toss first? Okay, I'm going to say Tails is werewolf skin and heads is Scarecrow.
Okay.
I can already see what it is. I got Tails.
So werewolf skin. What do you think, Nick?
Werewolf skin.
See, for me, because I love both, but I have to go with my nostalgia route, and that's Scarecrow.
Yeah,
that's one book besides The Haunted Mask. Like when it came out, I read multiple times because I really enjoyed it.
Scarecrow. It doesn't matter which one; they're both the same. I evenly.
Sorry, werewolf skin fans, we got to go with Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
They're both great. Like when it comes down to werewolf stories, too, we have Fever Swamp, and that's going to be a tough one to beat.
Fever Swamp is the better of the werewolf stories,
and right. So when it comes down to that, I think we made the right choice here.
Yeah, I like Scarecrow. I would have been honestly even more so than Haunted School. I would have been sad if Scarecrow got left in the qualification round. So, anyway,
now Scarecrow is one I've got on my wall too. So I mean, I love that art. I love the story. Love the episode.
Yeah, it's good.
Actually, my Cavity Colors shirt just shipped of that Scarecrow. So I'm excited about that.
Well,
all right, next round, preliminary final.
We have gotten past the qualification round, so we have eliminated 32 books, and we're down to now the other 32, which are making it into the next round. So again, we're going to start with the Slappy division.
Slappy wins again for me.
So, yeah, I got to say, Cuckoo Doom versus Living Dummy 2, I think I got to say Living Dummy 2 on this one.
Yep.
Yep.
I like both, but 2 just had a really good story.
Living Dummy 2
and I like the cover art.
Stories.
It is the better cover art.
I like the Cuckoo Clock cover art, but the Night of Living Dummy 2, and like we talked about, like it was so rare for them to use like that pink and green combo, and it worked so well with this cover. That's so memorable.
Slappy looks super creepy on that cover.
Story's better. Yeah, he does.
Story's better. I think I think
the story's better.
A great story.
I like both,
but yeah.
Well, because like you're literally ranking like the best Slappy book to that, the best one. Not like you're ranking Living Dummy 3 and Cuckoo Clock or like one of the bad ones.
I would think if it went against Living Dummy 3, I probably would have said Cuckoo Clock, but it's going up against 2, which I think is better. So
yeah, it's hard to that's an easy one for that. Yeah.
So at least Cuckoo Clock got one round in. But now we have I Live in Your Basement and Living Dummy 3, and I think I gotta keep with I Live in Your Basement. Yeah, I Live in Your Basement.
Sorry, one Slappy's been knocked out now.
Yeah,
well, I love the cover for 3. And the story's good, don't get me wrong. But I do like the Live in Your Basement story.
In terms of book, yeah. episode of Living Dead. Well, there is no Live in Your Basement. Hey, if we're comparing episodes, there is no Live in Your Basement episode.
Oh no, but you can't throw that in the ring to make your
decision.
Living
would have to win just by default.
I think I Live in Your Basement is just a better story. Again, it's an underrated book. Now we got
that's
Horrorland versus You Can't Scare Me.
Oh,
I'm going Horrorland here.
Horrorland, yeah.
Horrorland, I think the least two, yeah.
Yeah, Horrorland is more iconic, and it is a better story overall. We were trimming, we were really trimming with You Can't Scare Me and Why I'm Afraid of Bees, but this one I think
might be hard for you two because you both love.
You Can't Scare Me again. Great cover, love the cover, but again, when you go to the story, it's One Day at Horrorland.
Well, yeah, if we were going off of cover art alone, I would have said You Can't Scare Me because I just love that one so much. But
it'd be tough pick. But
yeah.
All right, here we go. We got
your favorite ghost.
Hurts a little.
Your favorite ghost story and your favorite mask story.
Oh man,
you gotta choose now. Which is your favorite? Because they're both your favorite of genres.
I mean,
well, you know my answer. Haunted Mask, 100%.
Yeah, as much as I love Endless Ghost, you can't.
I picked the Mask as well.
That story was near perfection for Stein, and that's the reason it's one of his. No, not one of his. It is his favorite story. He said it multiple times. It is his favorite book.
Yeah.
So there's a reason for that.
Actually, the next one's easy for me. Still, Camp Nightmare.
That's easy for me.
We're back in the horror division.
Sorry, Micah.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare and The Ghost Next Door.
Sorry, Micah. You made it through one.
Sorry, Micah.
Yeah. Got to go with Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
Well, he did say his favorite has changed of late. He still really likes Ghost Next Door, but he said upon reread, he's got a new favorite.
Billy Jam's going to make it through again.
Well, yeah. Well, just one quick thing. I will say.
See what's going to happen now, Bjorn? It's going to be Nightmare against Jelly Jam.
Oh,
what are you going to do?
That's a good point.
Wait, hang on. That's my favorite Goosebumps episode.
Versus your favorite book.
When we get there, I don't know what you're going to do. It'll be interesting to see.
But I do want to add on really quick. Ghost Next Door is a great book and a great episode, but Camp Nightmare is more iconic. And I feel like just in general, it's a more, I don't want to say it's more interesting.
More action-packed.
It's more action.
It is more interesting.
That's what it is. Yeah. So
it is more action-packed, which makes it more interesting to me, at least.
Yeah. Ghost Next Door is a more emotional story, where Camp Nightmare is a more action-oriented story.
Again, we think of the episode, don't we, Nick? It's so nostalgic.
It is. I fall asleep during the episode.
Even in terms of the book, the book of Camp Nightmare is more action-oriented.
Yeah.
So.
And the cover's better for Camp Nightmare.
Well, Monster Blood, you got one in. It's Horror Camp Jelly Jam.
Yeah. I'm just glad
spend much time here.
This one.
No, this one.
I'm happy it made it as far as it did. Oh, this is going to be a tough one for you guys now.
Oh, yeah.
This is shit. Me right here.
This is personal. You have Halloween versus Werewolf, Nick. Pumpkins versus Werewolf.
I mean, I love both covers tremendously. I have both of those in my wall too, but
oh shit. God, it's difficult now. It's getting tense now. It is because
both stories, both endings were great, both episodes were great. But you know what? You would think because I'm a big guy. Clearly, I mean, I have them all over my house. I decorate my home with jack-o'-lanterns. I got to go with Fever Swamp.
I got to go with Fever Swamp, too. I'm sorry.
It is just so good.
All three, Fever Swamp.
But it was hard. This was a hard one because I love Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, but Werewolf, man, that's a fucking classic book right there.
It is. It just, based on story alone, edges out a little bit more to me. And the werewolf, again, I love werewolves, but werewolf stories specifically. God, that's tough. That hurt me a little bit inside.
Well, this one won't hurt as much. We got Girl Cried Monster versus Return.
Yeah, no, this is easy.
Girl Cried Monster still. Prince Core, love you, but you know.
But now look what we have for the next bracket, G-Minute Christmas. This is getting tough.
That is going to be. Well, that's the thing. We're going for one of the best ones.
That's going to be hard
to get there.
No, all right, I don't know what's.
We're already up to the other side now. Oh yeah, we're narrowing it down. So.
Yeah, so
some of these have been really easy though, so we don't have to spend much time on it.
Yeah, we got Calling All Creeps versus Stay Out of the Basement.
I'll start. I think Stay Out of the Basement still for me is still my favorite.
I gotta say so too. Calling All Creeps is great, but
I love Calling All Creeps, but Stay Out of the Basement so much better
for me than the next one. Better story. I think. Oh, I don't know.
See, I like the story better for Ghost Beach and the cover, so I'm gonna go with Ghost Beach.
Yeah, I think
because like the episode blew ass because but the story I thought was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Or Bad Weird Day.
Next one's hard.
Yeah, this was.
I love Bride. My second favorite Slappy versus Cry the Cat.
They're both great books.
The only series 2000s together.
Yeah, isn't that
funny? It's funny how things worked out.
I know, really, exactly. Oh man, I love Cry the Cat.
I've read Bride more. I picked Bride because I've read it more. I think I like it more overall.
I think I gotta say Cry the Cat. I think Cry the Cat's better.
Bride had a good episode, good book, good.
Bride has a better episode. Bride has a better episode, but I think Cry the Cat's a better book. And I do like.
Not according to Stein.
Bride the Living Dummy.
Stein, when he's like, "Oh, it's my least favorite."
Yeah. Like.
Oh, that was awful. I couldn't believe he said that.
What do you think, Nick? Where are you landing?
Oh, I already said, but I'll say it again. No, I'm totally going with Bride on this one. I love Cry the Cat, but
I personally think Cry the Cat, but let's go.
I say Bride because Slappy literally chokes a kid and drags him by his neck. So I'm like, that is like, you don't get that in a Slappy book, and I'll take it.
I think the episode is what pushed it over a little bit. I like both stories pretty equally, but with the way they were created as episodes is what edged it out. I think Bride was a better episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Phantom of the Auditorium versus
sorry, Lauren, but I picked Dead House.
Yeah, that's a sad decline for Phantom, but at least it made it, I guess, passed around.
Yeah.
Because Dead House is for sure better.
Dead House is just iconic. It's a way more iconic story. It's definitely
God.
It's more gruesome than Phantom of the Auditorium.
Oh yeah, what's our choice on this one?
Okay, I think we're officially all right. We're back in the Lawn Gnomes division. So yeah, we got Terror Tower versus.
Oh God, no! Nick, what do we pick on this one? Because we both love.
I gotta say Camp Cold Lake. I think Camp Cold Lake is going to win this one for me personally.
Oh fuck! I love Terror Tower so much. Like I love the book. Like the book is so good. The cover is so good. I love the it's like the only medieval Goosebump book out there. There's like four camp books already, which is why this is hard. Like I'm picking Terror Tower.
I wish there was an episode so I could maybe edge one out of the other because I like both books, the story wise, and I like both the covers a lot. I actually just ordered a 9 Terror Tower print from Tim. I'm still waiting on it to come in the mail, but
I just like Camp Cold Lake story. Terror Tower book is good. Camp Cold Lake, I'm a sucker for a ghost story, especially out of camp. And Camp Cold Lake is a creepy story, and it's gonna edge that. For me personally, it edges it out.
Pick Terror Tower because it's like I love it. I've read the book so many times. Every time I read it, I love it. I love medieval, like that. Just that the setting of it. And it's kind of like the only Goosebumps book that really does that. So I still pick Terror Tower.
I'm the tiebreaker, but I'm telling you, this is tough, boys. I don't know.
Camp Cold Lake's good, but I'm like, we've already picked 2 camp books. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, but I can't base it on that because I have to base it on the story. But I like both a lot. So, I think I'm going to have to give it to Camp Cold Lake, though.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
I think it was a bit scarier. Again, I like the ghost stories quite a bit. I love Terror Tower, but I think I got to give it to Cold Lake.
Yeah.
It's tough.
What's the next one?
All right. Next up, we got Be Careful What You Wish For versus Beware the Snowman.
I still pick Snowman for me.
I would say Snowman. I like Beware the Snowman more.
I like Beware the Snowman.
I'm a sucker for isolated environments. and this like village that they're living in Beware the Snowman, with like the cave in the mountains, something like that, I think is just infinitely sort of scarier setting for a story. Careful What You Wish For is okay in terms of that aspect. But yeah, I gotta say Beware the Snowman for myself personally. Nick, you're
Let's Get Invisible and Ghost Camp.
Let's Get Invisible and Ghost Camp. I think
Ghost Camp.
Ghost Camp.
Ghost Camp for me.
I would say Ghost Camp. Yeah, I think Ghost Camp's a scarier story. It's one of the scariest.
Ghost Camp was one of the scarier Goosebumps stories. Like creepy.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I think I'm in that same camp.
Yeah, that same camp.
Every camp looks made it.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that, man. I'm telling you, like, if they do a season 3 of the Disney Plus show, it needs to be camp themed.
I think so.
Like, Stein's camp stories are fantastic.
All of them. Every camp book. You have Camp Cold Lake, which is, you have Camp Night Moon over here. You have Jelly Jam over here. You have just all of them. They're all there. Every camp is in it.
All right. Next up, we got Egg Monsters versus the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I'm gonna probably this one's easier. I'm gonna go for Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
Yeah, this one's easier for me. Scarecrow.
Yeah. Egg Monsters was great, but I just like the story of Scarecrow more. So
yeah,
so that's
and I like scarecrows.
Oh God! Yeah. So how many have we got now?
So we are officially starting round 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 16 books now. We've eliminated
16 because
this is our top 16 books. If you really think
this
about
is 16. Yep. So right now, all right. Well, let's keep going through it. So back in the Slappy division, we have Night of the Living Dummy 2 versus I Live in Your
Living Dummy 2.
Living Dummy 2. God,
it's your favorite book, Isaiah. You gotta pick it.
Still, I Live in Your Basement so much, but God,
I do as well. But like when it comes to these head-to-heads, sometimes you're like, fuck.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, when we get to the semifinals, it's gonna hurt. I can already.
Yeah, it will.
Next, speaking of hurt, One Day at Horrorland versus the Haunted Mask.
I think it's still Haunted Mask.
It's Haunted Mask, obviously. Haunted Mask. I mean, for me.
God. Sorry, Horrorland. Gotta go.
Horrorland made it 2 rounds. 3, no, sorry, 1, 2, 2, 3 rounds. 3 rounds.
All right, next up, Bjorn.
Oh, I know what you guys have picked already.
Hey, this is Bjorn.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare versus the horror Camp Jelly Jam.
I will say Camp Nightmare 2 only because it's my favorite episode.
I'm gonna say Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
I was gonna say I'm giving it to Nightmare.
Yeah,
only because of the ending Jelly Jam had. If it had a better ending,
yeah,
the ending was okay.
Camp Nightmare is way more brutal. It's got, I feel, bigger stakes. Because there's more mystery to it. Like I feel like the mystery in Camp Nightmare is better than the mystery in Camp Jelly Jam. Personally. So all right. And then here in the horrors division, so that was the first of the horrors division. We got
Don't make me choose this.
Werewolf of Fever Swamp versus Girl Cried Monster.
Don't make me choose.
I gotta say
Fever Swamp.
I gotta say Fever Swamp because I like werewolf stories more, and Girl Cried Monster is iconic as hell. But
they both had such good stories, good endings.
I wasn't
covers. I'm giving it to Fever Swamp, and I think that's what edges it out.
Bjorn,
even when you compare the episodes,
Bjorn refused to choose.
I refused to choose that, bro. I was letting you two choose unanimously. Now I would choose that one.
Oh man, I'm telling you, man.
I love that so much. I couldn't actually choose it.
All right, back here in the division, we got Stay Out of the Basement versus Ghost Beach. This one's easy, I feel.
I think
this is an easy one.
Yeah,
Stay Out of the Basement. Come on now.
Stay Out of the Basement. Better episode.
Let's not waste our audience's time here. This is Stay Out of the Basement.
Yep. Ooh, here's a tough one.
Oh, I picked Dead House.
Bride of the Living Dummy versus Welcome to Dead House.
I picked Dead House.
Gotta give it the Dead House.
Dead House, yeah.
That was kind of easy. Look, if it was Night of the Living Dummy 2 versus Dead House, then I have a problem. Okay, but
it might get to that. You don't know yet.
Who knows?
Yeah, it might.
All right. Now we got Camp Cold Lake versus Beware the Snowman. I think I got to give it to Camp Cold Lake. Yeah, Camp Cold Lake.
Sorry, you made it. You made it pretty fast, Snowman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually surprising.
Pretty decent. All right, and then the last one in the Lawn Gnomes division, Ghost Camp versus Scarecrow Locks at Midnight. Now this one is tough.
Scarecrow for me.
Go based on what's scarier for you.
Love both, but
both are scary, but I still think Scarecrow is the better book of the two.
Put it in.
Another camp book bites the dust.
What was your pick, Bjorn?
I wasn't choosing.
It's getting hard. It's getting difficult. It's getting difficult.
You can't plead the fifth. You can't plead the fifth when we're down to the final 16, man. We need you to pick.
Well, now we're
down to the
down
final 8 now.
Now we're down to the final 8, guys. What's going to happen when you're
the tiebreaker?
We are officially in the semifinals. We have.
Oh, I know what's. Oh, wait, this is tricky because Isaiah's favorite book versus the Haunted Mask. Ooh. This is the Nick and I.
I know Nick is going to. I know Nick is going to choose Haunted Mask. That is.
You know where I'm falling on this.
Okay, just to make this interesting. Just to make this interesting. Cover. For the fact of the game playing now, because I'm looking at this as a game now. Nick. Haunted Mask, just to be interesting, I'm going to say Living Dummy 2, so that it comes down to 1 in the middle.
I figured, honestly, even if that weren't the fact, I feel like you'd probably pick Living Dummy 2 anyway.
You got to go.
This is like trying to choose my kids. This is like trying to choose my children.
You don't have children.
No, well, let's just say I did.
What's your favorite book, Isaiah? That's a simple thing.
I know people are gonna fucking crucify me if I say
they won't crucify you.
I know Nick will want to crucify me if I say Living.
It's your personal choice here, okay? And it just so happens that the head-to-head had to be his favorite book versus probably his second favorite book. Okay, so just this is tough. But it's just,
Bjorn did this only to be divisive.
Bjorn did this to be divisive.
I did this for fun.
And to cause you pain.
Oh, God.
I did it for fun.
I really want to choose a Living Dummy 2, but I honestly, objectively, Haunted Mask is the better book. Like, if you are objectively speaking, Haunted Mask is the better book of the two. But I really want to choose Living Dummy 2.
Oh,
honestly, it would be funny to just say Living Dummy 2 so that we can just see which.
But remember, you're also comparing your monster. You're doing your story and your monster. Yeah. Don't worry about the episodes.
Forget the episodes. Not every book had. Well, we weren't doing monster because not every book had a monster.
If it was applicable.
We were doing it based on the most weight having being the story, and then kind of like second and third weight being cover art and the episode, if it had an episode.
Just go based on monster and story. Monster and story. Which monster is more powerful?
Even that doesn't help because I prefer Slappy as the monster, but I think Haunted Mask has a better story. Oh, God.
It's your choice. I only did this to make it fun. I was like, I'll pick this.
It's certainly fun for you guys. For me, I'm struggling.
Not for me. Because if Haunted Mask loses, I'm taking my ball and going home. Fuck this game.
What about the Haunted Mask lives? Where's that on the bracket? That's not on the list.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Exactly. It's fair.
All right. I have my decision. And as much as it pains me, I gotta say.
Do a coin toss.
No, it's the Haunted Mask.
If you really can't decide.
The Haunted Mask is an objectively better book. I may personally prefer Living Dummy 2, and I personally prefer Slappy, but the Haunted Mask is the objectively better story, so I gotta go with the Haunted Mask. Oh, that was tough. I feel like I was struggling so hard I almost gave myself some kind of friggin' hernia.
Oh, we already know what's won then, because you're doing the Haunted Mask versus Camp Nightmare.
Yeah. Well,
we already know who the champion is.
Are we?
I feel like we are. Probably come down. It was going to come down to one of the other ones anyway. But it's all right. So we got Camp Nightmare and Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
I'm still going with Fever Swamp.
You going with Fever Swamp? I think I'm going to go with Fever Swamp too.
Yeah.
Fever Swamp. Yeah. Werewolf of Fever Swamp. What do you think,
You know
Bjorn?
what? We should have played this with. You know what would have made this more interesting if we played this with a fourth person.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
I feel like we needed a fourth person to be like that. We don't know what they're going to pick.
We had that, and then we had someone like two said this one and two said this one. How did we decide?
Then we would actually have to flip a coin. Then we would have to flip a coin. We would have
All
to.
right. So the semifinal, so
books
so far,
1 and 2 head to head. How did that happen?
so the Slappy division is currently represented by the Haunted Mask, and the Horrors division is represented by Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Going to the Curly division, we have the first two, Stay Out of the Basement and Dead House, head to head. I gotta go with Dead House.
I'm going with Stay Out of the Basement.
I think Dead House for me.
I love Stay Out of the Basement, but I love the Dead House. And if we're going on episode 2, I do prefer Welcome to Dead House over Stay Out of the Basement. So I'm
Dead House is just
with episodes. I still take Stay Out of the Basement, but it's barely edged out. So
this is
I understand where you guys are coming from.
Dead House was gory. Like, let's just say the most gory Goosebump book. It was dark. It was creepy. It was eerie.
Oh yeah, it was.
And I do like zombie stories. I will say I do love zombie stories. So that's one advantage for me over Stay Out of the Basement.
Well, Dead House has made it close to the finish line.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Welcome to Dead House.
A little better for me, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was hard. This one was definitely hard. Welcome to Dead House for the Curly division. And for the Lawn Gnomes division, we have Curse of Camp Cold Lake and Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
I'm staying out of this one.
I'm still going with Scarecrow.
I don't actually have it. I have no choice of what I would pick.
Oh, God, this is tough.
You guys were so Camp Cold Lake and Scarecrow, so I want to know what your choices are here.
I think I gotta go.
I'm still Scarecrow.
I think I gotta say Scarecrow. I love Camp Cold Lake. I was honestly hoping Camp Cold Lake was gonna get further, but I gotta go with Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
It made it pretty far.
It did go pretty far.
I'm surprised the Scarecrow's made it this far. Like, it's a really good book. I think it's just because
honestly, I think Scarecrow just went up against a weak bracket until maybe the end, because now it's going against Dead House.
Yeah. Oh, but partial mistake. I said this round was semifinals. This is actually the semifinals. Okay. We're down to 4 books. 60 have been eliminated.
The final 4.
Final 4.
Oh, your 2 favorite books, Nick. Oh, I wonder what you're going to pick.
Between the Slappy division and the Horrors division, we have the...
Like Isaiah said, objectively, which story do you like more?
All right.
It's not about the monster now.
Yeah,
well, actually, which is the better monster? What would you be more scared of, Nick? It walked into your house. Both. Would you be more scared of a werewolf chasing you at full speed or someone you could outrun?
Oh, that's not even a question. I mean, like I said earlier, werewolves are, I think, more scary than... What if
the last bracket, to make it interesting now, because we already know what would be subjectively the champion. It would be the Haunted Mask, right? So what if, just for the last round to be interesting, let's go based on what monster would you be more afraid of in real life? Think of it like Pennywise. What if he turned into a monster right now? What would be the one that would fucking scare you, and you would have to run for your life, thinking I'm gonna die?
We can't do that now that if you would have said that first, maybe. But now that we've already established, I said werewolf. That's fair.
No, it wouldn't be
for the last round. Because we already know who the champion is, right? We know who the champion is. It wouldn't be fair.
No, it wouldn't be fair at this point.
Honestly, it's already tough enough. It's already tough enough because I think all 4 of these books are like the cream of the crop, like the best.
Top 5 books are these 4 books with 9 Little Dummy 2.
Literally the cream of the crop, like these 4 books, in my opinion. Haunted Mask, again. Haunted Mask.
I'm going based on what
objectively best story. But I also really like Werewolf of Fever Swamp. I personally prefer werewolves as a monster. And honestly, I might say something incredibly blasphemous right now, but I think I actually might prefer Werewolves cover. I think I actually might prefer the cover of the Swamp over the cover.
I'm going to go based on... Haunted Mask is the better story out of these 2. No questions. Hands down, the better story. But if I was literally having to run for my life of actually thinking I'm going to be killed, the Werewolf Fever Swamp would fucking catch up to me in 2 seconds and probably eat me.
Well, and you know what, too? Haunted Mask has
That's not true.
the best episode. Haunted Mask the best episode of the show. That's another thing, too. I think
this is hard, man.
I think it's Haunted Mask. I think it was inevitable. I think it's Haunted Mask. Nick, do you concur?
Yeah, Haunted Mask.
See, this is really tough. Oh, Bjorn even went Haunted Mask. Oh, wow.
I picked Haunted Mask because I was like, well, if we're just going based on the story and not really counting the other things anymore, then...
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we were always...
You still count everything else, too. I mean, you still count the cover. You still count if it had an episode.
I was just trying to make the last round interesting.
Haunted Mask is the best story. It does have the better episode. I personally prefer Werewolf's cover, but I'm probably in a minority on that one.
Look, I'd be more afraid if the werewolf was chasing me. That's what I'm just saying.
And yes,
I would be like, well, I can't outrun this.
Scarier than the Haunted Mask.
I can't outrun it. I don't have a silver bullet. Like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're gonna use that logic, if Slappy made it to the end, it's no different than like Austin Powers versus Mini-Me. You just kick that little bastard and fly across the room.
Hey, but if it's movie Slappy,
you do like a Living Dummy 3, you're try up his arms and legs and he can't do anything.
You'd be in trouble if it was movie Slappy because then he just used some magic.
No, movie Slappy, I'll just grab his book apparently and suck him back in. It's all good.
Yeah, Nick. I mean, we've already probably gotten our vote, but what do you think, Nick? I know this is probably tough.
Yeah, it would be 2 out of 3 anyway, even if I voted for few. I hate that I have to choose between these two. I love them both so much. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Haunted Mask for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this was inevitable. This was inevitable. All right,
I think so too, but you never know. I mean, it really could have been a twist here that came in, when you guys could have voted against Haunted Mask against me. If you know where I was going this whole time, probably, but
I genuinely picked that over Fever Swamp.
I feel like the stars aligned. It'd have to be Haunted Mask. But again, I mean, this is our opinion too. Maybe there probably are people out there who would have probably eliminated Haunted Mask before we got to this. Who knows? But now we have the Curly division versus the Lawn Gnomes division, and that's Welcome to Dead House versus the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight.
I picked Dead House.
Much as I love Scarecrow Walks at Midnight,
Dead House is the most graphic Goosebumps.
I think Dead House is I think Dead House has just a better story because it was early days and Stein was darker.
Yeah, really, when I read the dark tone the first time, it said, "Oh, he smacked his head against the skull against the fucking tombstone." I was like, "What? This is book 1."
Wait, it's that fucking tombstone?
Yeah, against the tombstone.
What was that?
You don't remember that?
Yeah, Tombstone from
Spider-Man? I don't remember fucking Tombstone. When did Stein cut his books?
He gets his skull smacked onto the tombstone, and it's just like, what?
I know, but you were saying, smack the skull against the fucking tombstone. It's like, where did he do that? Fucking Tombstone. Where is that?
Tombstone the wrestler, Tombstone the Spider-Man villain. Yeah, Welcome to Dead House.
It was the F-bomb that Stein dropped that really caught me off guard.
Okay, this might be a sweep.
This might be tougher for you guys. To me, obviously, it's still the Haunted Mask. The story resonates with me just too much, and it's near perfect for
it's honestly not as hard. Unfortunately, I can't say it's hard. It does have to be Haunted Mask for me. I love Dead House. I love zombies, but Haunted Mask is it's a great story. It's creepy and it's emotional. Bjorn?
Yep, the same. Yep.
And that's it.
I mean, there's no point even playing this game. What was the point of the game? I said we should have changed the rules a bit. We should have taken either out the ones that are our favorite or did a different bracket because we were it was just going to be the same answer. Should have changed the rules a bit because then it would have been interesting to see which one would have been our favorite had it not been those.
Our favorite?
Yeah.
That would
if you took out our favorites and replaced them with other books, you mean?
Just put in I don't know, maybe instead of having Haunted Mask, Living Dummy 2, and Jelly Jam for me, I guess, put in 3 of the other Series 2000 books.
Who knows?
Anything. Put in Graveyard Ghouls, I don't know, Scream.
Well, if you put in Headless Halloween, it probably would have swept a few.
Headless Halloween.
Headless Halloween.
Exactly.
Or if we did the bracket of just if we did the bracket of just
really good story.
Like, what monster is the scariest? Like,
well,
that you
had to be fair, and again, out of the 62 originals, Haunted Mask.
The monster that scares me the most out of any monster is Pennywise, because he can turn into any fucking monster.
Chicken. Yeah, but to be fair, once you find out, like, all you have to do is insult him and he cries like a bitch. It's like, God, Pennywise,
like a deflated
was this all it took?
And all that stuff. Yeah.
But, like, the fact that Pennywise can literally just turn into anything, that's terrifying. Like, he can literally turn into any monster you're afraid of. And, like, what are you afraid of? What if something was chasing you, what would be the thing that would make you actually, like, scream and run away?
Chicken.
Well, there you go.
Again, I don't think
this whole tournament.
Monster.
This whole tournament would have been won by Chicken if we were going by monster.
Yeah. But that is our Goosebumps Monster March Madness 2025. It was a little bit of a predictable final outcome, but honestly, it was cool to go through these books and see the different matchups. And
Deadhouse made it to the final round.
Deadhouse was a finalist, man. It was right there. And Scarecrow.
That didn't really surprise me. I figured it might be Deadhouse or maybe Living Dummy 2, but it just the unfortunate circumstance of its bracketing to go against the Haunted Mask. I honestly thought it was going to come down to the Haunted Mask in one of the Slappy books. Yeah, I really did. So, caught me by surprise.
It was, but and again, this is just how the bracket turned out and our own personal opinions. So obviously, you folks at home may have your own different opinions. That's totally fine. This was just for us to have a little bit of fun and debate a little bit. We will probably have to do a proper tier ranking of these books at some point, just for fun. I personally think so.
Well, I already know it's in the top 5.
Yeah, that one will probably be a little more predictable. This is just our own personal opinion for fun, and we'll probably revisit this maybe a monster.
Let's do a monster ranking
at some point. Oh, there's many other times things that we could do to rank and tier list and all that stuff, but figured for March Madness we do something a little fun, a little stakeless, just to see where it all ends up. Okay. But we'll go ahead and share our
where did that bring you?
Goosebumps Crew
back to me.
March Madness bracket with you guys, and I'll probably go ahead and leave the blank bracket down below. If you guys want to give your own March Madness bracket on the original 62 Goosebumps books, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can tag us on social media. Let us see, where do you guys rank on these books? Are they similar to our picks? Are they way different? Let us know. We'd be interested to see where you guys land. But that is going to do it for tonight's episode of the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. As always, make sure you follow Bjorn and Nick at Goosebumps OxyFan and Sean, respectively. If you like today's episode, make sure you leave a like and comment. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on our audio platforms and our social medias. We'll have a new episode for you next week. But until then, this has been the Goosebumps Crew Podcast. And from all of us here, we want to wish you all as always to take care, stay safe, and have a very scary day.
Have some jazz hands.